Okay, let's check out example number 2. I'm going to read through the proof and take a look at the picture, and then we'll start working it out. It says, given segment AD is congruent to segment BC. Segment AD is congruent to segment BC. So AD, all the way down, is congruent to BC, all the way down. Okay, I'm going to put my little congruent symbol there. All right, next in the given, we've got angle ACD and angle CAB are right angles. ACD in the top right corner, don't forget your symbol for a right angle, that little box. And angle CAB is another right angle. All right, so those are the two things given to me. What I'm trying to prove is that triangle ABC is congruent to triangle CDA. I'm going to finish highlighting here. Triangle ABC is in orange, and triangle CDA is in yellow. So we have a little bit of overlap here. All right, now let's turn our attention to the proof. Seems like we start out with a blank on the statement side. Normally, you would start out with something in the given category. If you look at step 3, we've got ACD and CBA are right angles. That's already listed in the given. So I'm going to go ahead and skip down to reason number 3 and list that. I need to list the other part of the given. So I'm going to put that in step 1. Segment AD is congruent to segment BC. That's also given. I've already drawn it in my picture. So now let's go back to step 2 here. It says segment AC is congruent to itself. Now, why is that important? Let's take a look at the picture. Segment AC is the segment that's being overlapped. So it's part of our orange triangle, ABC, and it's part of our yellow triangle, CDA. So it's important to see that if you have a shared side, you can count that as one of the congruent pieces. Now on our list, when we say something is congruent to itself, okay, that comes to us from our algebra classes. That is the reflexive property. Check this out. The reflexive property says that two sides can be congruent to themselves, or two angles can be congruent to themselves. So here I'm using the reflexive property. Specifically, I'm using the reflexive property of congruence since the sign is a congruent sign. All right. So finally, I'm supposed to pick out how the two triangles are congruent. Now, when you're picking out how the two triangles are congruent, you're using one of these 5 patterns that we've been studying throughout the chapter. Okay, so if I take a look at my list here, step 1 made 2 sides congruent to each other. Step 2 made 2 sides congruent to each other, and that's all I have. I just have 2 sides congruent to each other. So when I look at my options, I have the 2 sides from SAS. AAS is out. ASA is out. I don't have a third side, so SSS is out. And now I can consider HL. Remember, HL stands for hypotenuse leg. Here we do have a hypotenuse and a leg because we are dealing with a right triangle. The long side of the triangle is called the hypotenuse. The shared side over here, AC, is the leg. So these two triangles are congruent by hypotenuse leg. Our next video will explore example number 3.